Hi and welcome everyone. My name is Lynn. I'm very excited to have you here for this part 2 episode of weight loss and alkaline foods. A big warm hug to you all. I try and bring these videos in an uncomplicated way with general topics that are brought up in the pharmacy. I always have loving intentions and they are for educational purposes. This is episode 6, part 2. We've already done part 1 on the last video, and I'll link that video to this one in the description. And part 2 is the solution is at hand. I'd just like to say my mission statement here, my drive, passion, and my life's purpose is to educate people, and there is always a better choice. I believe through the right diet choices, you can change your eating habits and get your body back into balance. I want to bring awareness, showing that nearly all diseases are preventable. And my famous saying I love, you are what you eat. So let's dive in. Before we get into the real good stuff, I just need to bring forward what is happening in our body when we eat too much acid food. So when our body dysfunctions, it's called acidosis. And acidosis is a condition where the body has too much acid in the body fluids. We do need levels of acid to break down our food and our nutrients to maintain at a certain level, otherwise our body wouldn't function at all. But if the body gets too stressed and we eat too many acidic foods, the kidneys start to overload and things go haywire and malfunction. So I'm not going to go through this list of signs of acidosis. You can read the slide or come back and look at this slide later. But it's a lot of those triggers and symptoms you may relate to. So you may be needing to change your diet. So I will go over this slide because not a lot of people know what are acid-making foods or acid-forming foods. So when we say acid-making or acid-forming, I'll probably use forming. These foods, when we eat them, when the body digests them and utilizes them, they either turn into an acid-forming food, which the body then has to deal with, or it turns into an alkaline food. But these foods are the ones that are going to cause a little bit of discomfort if you have too many of them, and especially if your whole diet is of an acid-forming diet. So let's go through them. Black tea, coffee, soft drinks, fruit juices, all your dairy made from cow, alcohol, any wheat, red meat, white meat, processed meat, some kinds of fish, seafoods like oyster, and most fruit with the exception of a few lemons, limes, and grapefruits, and I believe watermelon too. Dried fruits, mushrooms, artificial sweeteners, any form of sugar, no matter what form it is, peanuts, potato chips, corn chips, and all the things that we love to eat and love to snack on. Pastries, cakes, donuts, croissants, biscuits, and the last one is eggs. There are other foods that are acid forming, but I put these down here because they're probably the most common ones. So when you're in the supermarket and you're looking at the label and you're wondering whether this product is acid forming or whether it's alkaline, this should be easy for you to follow these triggers, to look at these triggers. So does it have sugar? Does it have yeast? Does it have dairy? Is it processed or ultra processed? Does it have gluten? Does it contain vegetable oil or sunflower oil or any of those highly processed oils. And that's a good gauge. If it's got any of those in it, then it's not going to be good for the body. Put it simply, acid forming foods create stress in the body, not emotional stress, but stress in our digestive area, causing inflammation, damages our DNA and our cells. We get serious health issues, the body dysfunctions everywhere, and then we end up with a whole lot of pain. So I want to introduce the alkaline way, and or some people call it the alkaline diet. It doesn't really matter which one it is, but it's changed my life, and it has changed hundreds of people's lives that I have introduced this to. So why is it important to embrace the alkaline way? Before we get to that question, we just need to clarify and understand that Um, our bodies have a pH level of 7.365, and no matter how many acid foods you eat or how many alkaline foods you eat, your pH level always stays the same. So, to simply explain the alkaline way, acid foods create stress in the body, as I mentioned before, and alkaline foods create ease in the body. Our body's pH cannot be changed, as I just mentioned. We are simply giving the body the right food and nutrition to function optimally, reducing the stress factors that the acid foods ignite in the body. So basically, alkaline foods, when you eat them, you have a stress-free body. So the general rule before you start your alkaline diet is just remembering, and it's a simple rule, to try and keep your balance of between 70 and 80% alkaline foods, and then the rest of 100% you can have acid foods. So if you're balanced out like that, then you're not going to get inflammation and pain in your body, and your body will start to heal itself, which is pretty cool. So you're probably wondering from the list before, there's probably not much left that we can have um, with the alkaline foods. But when you really get down to it and start looking at what you can do with alkaline foods, there's a lot you can do. It's just a bit of a mind shift as to what most people are used to, but it's not a hard thing to embrace. So these are just some of the foods that, the common foods that you can eat as much as you want to. It's not calorie based or anything. And I'm going to give you some more information on the next slide with that. So, in review and my perspective and my own personal testimony. So, if you watched my first video, then you know I'm not a fan of shakes and what you can get in the retail stores or in pharmacy, because they all create an acid environment in the body. So, if I can possibly educate someone into looking at the alkaline way of doing things, um, I feel that, it opens that perspective for people to have a look at it. So it's just being mindful, and it's not about completely wiping out all your acid bearing foods, because if you keep it balanced with the 70-80% rule and just have your small part, like if you want to have a cup of tea and things like that, long as it's balanced out, you will have the benefits in the body. And I mean, I started cold turkey with this and went right into it fully fledged. And but I don't suggest doing that. You can build into it because a lot of people are so addicted to sugar and other foods that they eat, to ease their self into it. So perhaps giving themselves 2 or 3 weeks or even a month to cut back on the acid bearing foods and build up on your alkaline foods. My personal testimony, I got involved and found this website, which I'm going to introduce to you, about 7 or 8 years ago. And in the first 3 months, my husband and I did this new change of diet, and I dropped 10 kilos in 3 months. He dropped about 25 kilos in 3 months. He's got a much faster burning metabolism than I have. Um, and ever since then, just by following this way, the weight has now, it just slowly comes off. Your health improves, your immunity improves, you just feel so much better. And I feel I don't really um, need to go looking for what I call naughty foods, although there are times I do have naughty foods like a piece of cake, or if you go out to lunch with somebody and you want to have, a nice lunch, well, there's no reason why you can't do that when you know you can get back on track with your alkaline food. So, you don't want to be miserable with it. That's why it's best to ease yourself into it and don't go gung ho like I did. I've never looked back since I've done it, and I'm healthy, at a very healthy range of weight now. And I'm not on any medication at all. I do take vitamins, but I have a very healthy immune system. And usually, if I do get sick, I can fight it off within a day or two. So I really I really am creating this awareness for people, just that there is another choice besides, shakes and pills and gummies and things that are out there. And this is whole, decent food, and the website I'm going to give you in the description box is a man called Bridgeford. So Ross Bridgeford, I discovered all those years ago, and everything that he said completely resonated with me. I knew that with the right environment in the body and not creating and eating those acid foods, that disease would just melt away. And I have literally seen that happen with people. I have seen their diabetes go away, type 2 diabetes, their inflammation, their chronic fatigue, so many things I have witnessed for myself when my customers come back and give me a feedback on how they went over the months of transitioning into the alkaline way. So that's what I wanted to bring forward today, and it's very important because we need to get our bodies back in balance. We need to get rid of the pain and the inflammation and everything else that's really holding us back from having a healthy body. So I thank you for watching this video, and if you like it, I would love if you subscribe, even share it with your family and friends, and I will put that information of Bridgeford's website so that you can follow that. I am not affiliated with Ross in any way. He doesn't know me. I just am very passionate about sharing this information of Ross's because it worked for me, and I've seen it work for a lot of people through the pharmacy that I work at. So thank you, and I'm very much in gratitude for watching my video, and I'll see you on episode 7. Thank you. Bye.